Welcome back, my based hat Chad enthusiasts, to another episode of Journey Through Eorzea. As always, I am your host, Man with Hat, Tiberius Fox, next to Michael Stark, the Unbeliever. You know, shame. Level 80 White Mage. Interesting, a mage is an Unbeliever, but you know, whatever. Yeah, things are kind of somber right now. The light is back because, as... I'll use a mouse here for a second. Everlasting light, bad time. Because of the fact that we are now basically a super light warden ourselves, and we have been staved off the problem for the time being. But Emet Selch says we can meet him at his place, whatever that was, wasn't really clear, to, figure things out. So we're going to do that. Side note, it is 11:27 p.m. Eastern, which is where I happen to preside. And wouldn't you know, I logged in to run tonight and do stuff, record. And wouldn't you know it, they're like, hey, emergency maintenance, which is the second emergency maintenance they had the last week, I think. So we're going to be under the gun. Maintenance apparently starts at 11 p.m. Pacific, so that gives me about 2.5 hours to do this. So with that, let's stop talking about it and let's get going. The manager of suite seems surprised to see you up and about. Oh, sir, you're awake. You were injured during the foray on Mt Gulg, yes? I was here at my station, as always, but when they carried you in on the makeshift stretcher looking disturbedly bereft of vigor. I gotta slow down, I'm reading way too fast. And to compound my worry, the sky was, well, I'm sure you've seen. It has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Bragi was one of the few of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times to inquire of your condition. And one thing, I was listening to 118 with my wife today. We were watching some stuff, and I was like, man, I have got to slow down. Like, when you're reading something and you hear it in your head, it does not, like, I know, you always want to hear about the background stuff, but just between stuff, I'm always looking for ways to improve, make the story better, right? And the thing I've asked changed, I gotta slow down when I talk a little bit. So, what is this? It's a cat. That's what it. Cheese? No, we're not doing this right now. Would it be Journey Through Eorzea without cats coming in to cause trouble? I say no. All right, I think this is doable. I'm thinking jump from here, right? All right. See if we can do it. Oh, well, not if I fumble like that. Hang on, let's look around, see if there's like another obvious way. Maybe there's a side on this side. Oh, I bet that's it right there. Jump across and then jump across those. As we all know, somber music or no, there is never an excuse to not. Yeah, here we go. Okay, see that? Oh, that's not a real thing! I thought maybe I could jump on that and like jump to the side. I always want to like switch to ninja and then just do the little teleport thing, but I know it doesn't actually do what I think it does. All right. How long until I can sprint again? 21 seconds. Yeah, I don't need it. Oh ho. Oh, let's do it. All right, the Musica Universalis. We have gotten yet another sightseeing log. Look to Journey Through Eorzea featuring sightseeing logs. Alright, Braggy. I totally forgot about you, honestly. Well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle, so... And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that had somehow still breathing. Then they told me, the evil bastard went up and snatched our poor Exarch away in the midst of the chaos. Wicked wight, what is this world coming to? Bah, but moaning will never solve the thing, did it? Nay, it's time like these that we Crystarium folk stand tall and do what needs be done. Trade with Yulmore is back on the table. We best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chesamil was worried sick about you. A healer wringing her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. Beyond just reading slower, I also need to just, actually read the words that are there. This is professional voice acting. Somebody from Square Enix is going to watch this entire series, I tell you. And they're going to say, wow, Man with Hat is just the guy. We got to hire him right now on the spot. We need him for his exceptional voice acting. And they're going to say, look how he reads the lines. It's so emphatic. It's amazing. Oh, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even the Spaguric Chirurgeons? Even the Spaguric Chirurgeons were forbidden from making visits. Rian was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to eater corruption, so I suppose there was little of us any good done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure for your condition. I worry to see their faces grow ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let you know that they're awake. I shall let them know you're awake. And when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they are all collapsed from exhaustion. Ah, and our own Morin has been a little better, I'm afraid. I'm just not reading this, apparently. And are a little more... I'm going to try this one more time. Just roll with me, okay? Ah, and our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. Part of the problem I'm having is I have cats like with their like bell collars like right next to me. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. And so it's like super distracting. And so I'm trying to read, which I'm already, challenged by, and then just getting absolutely just like worried that they're getting into something or causing some sort of shenanigans. At the same time, like the other day they caught a mouse, which I was able to capture and let out of the house. So I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. But premier mousers, my cats, apparently. But yes, it is premierly distracting. Be that as it may, it does not matter. We need to go find Morin. I think Morin's... He's down in the thing, right? I always forget. I see the little arrow that tells me to go down. And it is just like, it's a whole thing. I always think he's like somewhere up there, but that's because I don't pay attention to the arrow. Like, the Crystarium's not as bad as, say... I don't know. Limbs is not that bad. Ulda. Maybe, like, on par with Limsol and Minsa. I really hate Ulda. Like, aesthetically, canonically, Ulda, totally fine. In practice of navigating, once again. Awful. Just awful. Confounded, this says the same thing as the last. Mayhap I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Tiberius, it's truly you, and not some figment of my imagination. Oh, but this is wonderful. 'Twould seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for wisdom to explain the most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the Light Wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus I do feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might be again in earnest. Catullus, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle, though against what foe we are as yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Not until I break my legs. There we go. Only a little bit of leg breaking. Just a little bit. Just a touch of leg breaking. And then I have to run around this way. I feel like... So I understand what we're doing here, right? Like, we've been off in the world, we've been doing all sorts of stuff, right? But, like, I guess the question I had is, like, we didn't spend enough time, I don't think, with these people to, like, really warrant me feeling like I need to check in with them, right? Like, I don't know, if you told me you wanted me to go check in with Soldier Lady, which I know, terrible, right? But the Captain of the Guard Lady, which I'm fun fact about Man with Hat, I just straight up am terrible with names. I am god-awful with names. I have to talk to someone like 40 times before I remember their name. And as soon as I know what their name is, after realizing I forgot it, I feel like the dumbest man alive. So, but yeah. And also, I'm still just distracted. It's just cats everywhere. Anyway. It just, like, I feel like if we'd had more time actually, you know, dealing with these people, it would be more impactful that I'm, like, running around and talking to people and what have you. Wait, I think I can just go up another flight of stairs. I don't know why I have so much trouble with this flight of stairs. If anyone asks, this didn't happen. I was not bamboozled by a flight of stairs. I feel like with seeing the crystal, I could have just taken, like, the Aetheryte crystal, and that would have been faster. But no one saw that. Like, this lady, okay. That's what I'm saying, like, this lady. We haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, we straight up haven't talked to this woman since we got here. We haven't, not one time. So.
Tiberius, alive and well, I see. You gave us a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying what's become of you or the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe we would have won the day, and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs as and the like. If you could still stand for a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve.
Alright, sure.
Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit.
It is the exact same thing I was wearing when I got here.
It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we do need to experiment with different patterns and materials. I'm not sure we have that kind of time.
That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Hello, tall man that I recognize but don't know who they are.
Greetings, Glynard. Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he?
Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking of an absent genius, and his epiphanies are a perfect answer to this predicament of yours.
And by genius you mean old Grinold. He's a man of unrivaled gifts, I won't argue with you there. What good does a talent do if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide or hair of Grinold since he wandered off some years ago. You know he's like when he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking.
That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I'd wager he'd show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many is a tale I've heard of told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. That's right, he's the guy that runs the bar where all the, side quests are.
We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on an off chance you encounter Grinold, it'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait for our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh?
I don't think this has to do with the relic weapon, because the relic weapon I think it's in the back and it's in the Bojin southern front for Shadowbringers, so that's like that's in the source, so. Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to see you. Okay, sure. I best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit, does it?
Hear, hear. Can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to.
Alright. We have had a conversation, so I guess we're going to the stairs then?
Tiberius, are you all right? I think return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting atop of the watchtower next to the rookery. The damp old sky doesn't make the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face.
So, take a moment to feel the wind upon your face. I'm assuming it's that tower up there. I will sleep up there. I'm not man who is unable to sleep up there. I could sleep in the daytime. Just depends on if it's too hot, too cold, man. Break my legs. feel like someone drew fan art of me. They would just see me with, have like a cast, and just like my legs would be, I'd be like in like a boot or something, with like a single crutch. Be like man with hat, and I'm standing there with like whatever class bow probably in one hand and like a crutch in the other from just breaking my legs all the time. Imagine this game was like one of those realistic games like Arma or something, and like it just constantly just has a bone broken icon on the screen. Plays that doop doop, noise because you're like hurt yourself. Let's see what we got going on.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
I mean, here's the thing, let's be real. Am I responsible? Yes and no. I am the one holding the light that causes the daytime. This is true. However, the way you're saying that, I don't like the way you're saying that, Ardbert. You're making it sound like I'm the one that made the sky this way. No, I am just in the middle of rectifying the problem, okay? I'm dealing with something right now. That doesn't mean I'm responsible, alright? I don't want to make an analogy or metaphor for this. You should know this. The secrecy is worse. I'd rather people knew. I still can't believe it's coming from me. It's all such a mess. It is. It's all such a mess.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out.
Except for maybe being awesome.
But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet.
It is interesting, because, remember, as we know, having played through the series, I've forgotten a lot of things, and one of the the key points that I don't remember of this is I don't remember how we dealt with the light at the end, right? I remember that there's the whole Amarat thing and, the ancient city and Emet Selch and sort of thing. I remember bits and pieces of that. I don't remember how we deal with the light. I don't know how we deal with it and get rid of it. So I'm hoping it's a good, satisfactory conclusion that I just don't remember. Or then not just like a, kind of pull it out of my behind sort of thing. So...
I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest.
I feel so long ago when that happened.
There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had.
Who doesn't like a giant rock robot?
Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then.
A random tidbit that I just thought of, though. I wonder, okay, you know, like, I'm going to make a parallel here for a second. You know in Mass Effect, when you're playing, like, you can make character look however you want, just like in this game, right? But, like, there is a default Shepard you can play as, or a default Femme Shep you can play as. Now, obviously, Final Fantasy XIV is a bit more varied, because you can pick, like, you know, you can be bunny girls, or cat girls, or elves, or whatever. But, like, there is the default human character that you can play as, right? I.e. him, right? Or at least something akin to him. I wonder how many players just play as the default vanilla human warrior of light. Like, they don't make any alterations, and that's their dude. They roleplay the warrior of light, like, canonically. That's all they do. You know there has to be some. There has to be. Like, most people come in and get in, they go, oh, I gotta go crazy in the character creator and make my person, it's gotta look this way and this way. Like, I put some work into my person, but it wasn't like a ton. I'm kind of in the middle. But there are people out there that aren't interested in character creation whatsoever. And so when the game loads up, they just go, don't care, and they just skip on, and they go, I'm just that guy. And then there's people beyond that who not only do they're not interested in that, they want to look this way. They want to look like the canonical warrior of light and just look like the generic guy. I wonder how many there are. And I wonder, even further, I would love to know how many there are of each one. It's just a thing I was thinking about. Wonder Twin powers activate.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse.
You mean like being obscured by a giant hat?
But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish.
He looks normal now. He's not like, well, okay, he did for a second.
I cast my lot with yours.
For a second there, he was not bright.
I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you.
That's good.
So, let us be about it, hero.
I do wonder, like, what is he doing all the time besides watching? Like, where is he? Is he always just standing there watching? Or is he, like, following us around? Like, obviously he went up the ladder with us, which was cool, and I liked.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and
Oh, it's Feo
wallowing in
Ul.
your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours.
Hello, Feo Ul.
My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you?
I'm waiting for a speech bubble and it's not coming.
Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it. Cut ties with the mortal world. Hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem. But would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Meg will rise up in your defense.
It's an interesting concept, like giving me like an out, right? in usually in fiction, it's like there's like a popular, like almost like a Majora's Mask, right, where the Warrior of Light did accept that and then just becomes like the Fairy King, right? And then that's like a whole thing, right? It's like in a what if scenario. But it's interesting that she just offers that, like, oh yeah, you could just, do it. You could just do it.
My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling. You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits.
I don't know what you're talking about, lady. I am fine. I am just fine. I don't want to seem, weak because, I wouldn't want anyone else to feel bad. You know what I mean? I'm just fine. It's great.
Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue.
Graha Tia? That's right. We haven't revealed fully that he's Graha Tia, even though if you know he's Graha Tia, but he's Graha Tia. Spoilers.
You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Thank you, fairy woman. It's been nice talking with you. See, what I want... I know this sounds really dumb. I want the Warrior of Light, especially post-Endwalker, I want him to become like a Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z, where he has some natural innate ability, right? Because, he is a warrior or whatever, right? But he starts, like, exceeding his limits, right? Like, I'm already stronger, but everyone just up to this point just goes, oh yeah, he's just got the Echo and the, the Blessing of Light and all that stuff, and that's special, blah, blah, blah. But I want him to start getting, like, stupidly strong. I want to get, like, so strong that everyone goes, whoa. Okay, when did you get that strong, right? Like no one expects, like an anime protagonist. I don't know. I want that. That'd be good. Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely would not have come in search of an Amaro. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I am happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in the city would tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the Tower of Resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Indeed, it may. But no, I want to like stupidly alright, I'm trying to think of a parallel. I don't know, maybe not as much as like something like, say, like solo leveling, right? But just like, I don't know. Like, all right, the reason I bring this up is because I'm thinking about like, what if in this, right? What if I'm able to like get so accustomed to having all this aether that when they all think I'm supposed to break, right? I just go no, and I fight it back, and I get a new mastery of the light aether, right? And I'm able to like force it back within and make it my own sort of thing or something. I think that would be cool. Like, I don't know. I love just like dumb, overpowered enemy protagonist type stuff, though. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like your Mob Psycho 100, your One Punch Man, your solo leveling, your Dragon Ball Z. Even though Dragon Ball Z is kind of a little different, but like that was like the proto thing. I was watching Dragon Ball Z in like 6th grade, man. Like.
Oh, and there was something else you needed. If you come for results of my literal research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell you as of yet.
Tell me about that Exarch.
Records pertaining to the Exarch. Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade has passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known as to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes, or Voburites fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together they did found a city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin to like the... I don't know if we know it. Scintillating. Sorry, I'm looking at the word and it doesn't seem right. So, like to the tower, he had summoned and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, 'twould seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Oh, it's not a mystery to me, baby. I already know. When he popped out, I mean, obviously I spoiled it, but I'm just saying. I know. I was there when it was written, kinda. I gotta go this way, I think, right? Yeah. But yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, it'd be cool if you do that. I think it would be cool to, like, they all have you for not. It's like, oh no, his aether is tinted. He's turning, right? Like he can't possibly go. Like I'm thinking moments like Goku can't possibly do a Kaioken even bigger than 3, not possible. And then he goes ×4, right? Like I think that would be a neat thing. You know, it's like maybe I'm getting the thing. And then I'm just like, I'm going to die. Everything's going to go bad. No one's here to save us. Nothing's going to work out. No one can help me, right? But the thing is, the game it wants to encourage you to, like, lean on your friendships and stuff, which I get. It's fine. But, like, I think it would be interesting and cool, you know, to do that. I just, for me, that would be, you know, I should just use the 8th right thing. Hang on. The crystalline mean. There we go. Oh, that was actually not the right one. I just saw the word crystalline mean, and I thought, that's definitely the one I want. Hang on. Do it again. Once more with feeling. The Amaro launch. My bad. But no, I just think, you know, the game wants to encourage you, like, oh, you can't do it. Like, their whole theme has been, like, you can't do everything yourself and that sort of thing. Tiberius, it is good to see you awake and alert, my friend.
Tell me about that, Exarch.
What's this about? You're not writing Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insight to share, then it'd be Captain Lyna, I would say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you decide to talk to Lyna, she'll be at her usual post at the Ancestor Gate.
Alright, yeah. But yeah, no, that would be like a total upset of like the kind of the story they're trying to tell. Let's see. That's the Docile Gate. Where am I going? We'll just go to the Crystarium Aetherite Plaza. But like, imagine if instead they're like, you can't possibly... Put it this way. One of the things, like, so I watched Attack on Titan, and unpopular opinion, I did not like it. And the reason I didn't like it was because... But they kind of did the thing I would like in this, right? So this is the reason I'm bringing up. So this thing, like the first season, where they're like, don't turn into the giant thing, don't turn into the giant man, because you need to depend on us, and we will take care of things, right? And so I remember, and this is years ago at this point, right? And then Aaron goes, all right, I'm going to trust you or whatever. And then they goes, okay. And then they promptly all die. And I didn't like that. I didn't like he was like, yeah, let's build, having come from animes like, Naruto and stuff like that. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that, my reward for, like, he trusts them and then they just die anyway, right? However, that said, here it would be kind of cool. Your friends, like, there's this almost like inversion of what you think is going to happen. It's like, oh no, someone has to save the day. I am powerful, but someone has to save the day. And it's like, it turns out that you're just awesome, right? And that you're just able to, like, power through and become stronger than, like, anyone thought you could be. I like stuff like that. Not all the time, but just, like, on occasion, and I think it would work well here.
Tiberius, I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now if only the Exarch had returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea where to find him, and so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Kalusia, the Exarch entrusted me with the key. It opens the door to the ocular to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower, in which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Fothri loomed near, and at the time accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, the moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Tiberius, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting.
I'm not going to say anything. See, I would just say things. I'm just like, whatever.
Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch and should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But before you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Ah, I see I'm not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be of far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek.
Alright. I feel like I should give her a higher voice. But I was already in the lower register anyway, so what are you gonna do? Oh, look at that picture.
Come, meet me in the ocular and I will unlock the door within.
But yeah. I realize Final Fantasy XIV is not an anime, but it also borrows a lot of, like, anime tropes. Oh no, I'm flying! We've been through this area enough. I don't think flying is out of the question. This is the Exarch gate. Look at that, it's a sick tower. But yeah, just like a sub... So one thing I hate in modern media is, like, everyone's trying to subvert expectations, right? I don't think subverting expectations is innately bad, but, like, the time, of course, I think that most people got tired of the subversion of expectations in media was probably when, what was that movie? It was the second Star Wars movie in the new ones. The Rise of Skywalker, I think it was. No, The Last Jedi. It's Rise of Skywalker's the last one. Yeah, no, so the Last Jedi, where, like, oh, I already did that. For some reason I just saw the star there and I was like, that's the one I want. But no, it's just like, oh, we finally got to Luke Skywalker, isn't it cool? And then, like, he just throws it over his shoulder and then he's like a terrible person and he sucks. Yeah, okay, you subverted the expectations, I guess. But, like, was it a good subversion? Not really. And so I'm like, I got a little more apprehensive and then I started noticing that was what writers were doing to try and do things. But I do think it can work in certain instances. Alright, let's see what they got in here.
I have unlocked the door to the Umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
Thank you, bunny lady. Do you think there should be like a Vieira scion? Well, where's our Vieira scion? Everyone likes a nice bunny girl, you know what I mean? It's a lot of books. Oh, 8-track flashback! Is that Urianger?
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Graha Tia, then. By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
He's Graha Tia from the future!
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its
Do an
chapters?
8-track flashback? An 8-track flashback
Certainly.
within an 8-track flashback?
But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope! We are finished! Mankind is finished!" Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass.
Everyone loves some good time travel, you know what I mean?
The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me.
I'll have to look back and figure out what episodes are the Crystal Tower raids. So, if you guys actually care and want to go back and know about the Crystal Tower raids, because I did a whole section on the Crystal Tower raids, and I did them for this exact moment. I did them all that time ago, months ago, did the Crystal Tower raids, because I was like, I know it's going to be relevant at some point, and so I want to do it. So this is the moment. This is the moment right now. So, yeah, if you want to go back and watch Crystal Tower raids, they lead up, and they're kind of like a prequel almost to this moment. So...
By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining. and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
Leave it to Sid to do something like
that. By means
that.
of such technologies didst thou affect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous.
You know, I feel like at this point, Urianger is that one friend that people have that you tell your secrets to, and he knows everything. He knows where all the bodies are buried, and he's not happy about it. He's not like, oh man, he's not malicious, but he just knows it, and he's just like, like, this man needs a beer and a day off, like, 1,000 times. This dude deserves, like, an all-expensive trip to, like, help, like, party in, like, Costa del Sol or something for, like, 6 months, a bare minimum. Like, you know, like a year, all expenses paid. You know, like, I feel like in some ways he's had it worse than any of the other Scions. Alizé's mad at him for stuff because he kept a secret and she found out. And it's like, he didn't ask for any of this, man. Like, he's doing what he thinks right. Now, I'm not saying he knocks out of the park all the time. He does some stuff maybe a little questionable, but I'm just saying, I feel like Urianger gets a hard time.
Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on.
Let's go, baby. Talk me up.
The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold.
Yeah. Count Edmund's memoirs.
For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights.
I've become a folk hero in the future.
And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again, and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course.
Kind of makes clear why he's such a fanboy
I
of
will
you.
see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Like, he lived in a future where, like, the only reason that people had any hope was because of the stories of you and the things you did. You know what I mean? So, it makes sense that he's not just fanboying because he's a fanboy. He's fanboying because he's literally lived in a world where everything sucks, and the only thing they have is hopeful stories about the things I did.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
Okay. I mean to hunt down Emet Selch. I mean to rescue the Exarch. I mean to have a few words with both Emet and the Exarch. Hunting down the Exarch or Emet Selch found something. I mean to rescue the Exarch. I feel sometimes they make answers where I feel like this is too obvious, right? Like, you could do any of these, right? Like, maybe you're the guy, I'm gonna hunt him down. I'm gonna rescue the Exarch. I mean to have a few words. Let's have a few words. I'm a man of few words.
Then we should be on our way. Diassian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere. Hidden beneath the waves.
Beneath the waves. There was a small, like, cove beach that I was there the other day when I was looking at stuff. I kind of wonder if, you know, if that's where you get in. I don't know.
Did you find the answers you sought? If there's nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door.
A question about the Tempest.
The Tempest. That is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an arrow to fly you over the waters, but... Do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? I'm not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. But with the blessings of the Shadow, I shall await your safe return.
Thank you, Lyna. I will try to remember your name. That's what I'm gonna do. Try to remember your name after I've spent literally hours in a game with you in it. You require an arrow? Just a moment. I shall saddle our swift beast to fly you to the island. To open water, to the depths of the tempest. Our arrow can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor. Well, I can breathe infinitely underwater. I've been underneath an entire ocean. That's not a big deal. Water pressure doesn't seem to matter. Uh-oh. Uh-ohs, uh-oh, uh-ohs.
Ah, we have found thee.
Oh. Hey guys, I definitely wasn't going to go on an adventure
Word
without
reached
any
us
of you.
thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste.
Certainly wasn't going to go on an adventure all on my own. At all.
Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses.
Oh my gosh, dude. You're fine.
When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare.
Bro, I'm not Alice. I ain't mad about it.
It is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
You know what I do love about Urianger? He lies when he has to, but he feels such remorse when when he finally has to open up about it. He's like, I didn't even want to do this, but I had to. Please don't be mad at me. No more lies. I am in danger of those around me. I'm not really a no more lies good. I forgive you. I mean, I know they're going to say they accept it anyway. We're just going to say I'm a danger to those around me.
I understand the precarious nature of thy condition. Nonetheless, it is my wish to remain at thy side for as long as I am able.
Is this bro out with Urianger time?
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
What do you know, redheaded girl? We all know what redheads are like. Come on.
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again.
I'm fine.
Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
No, you ain't, dude.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
And of course, she's going to be overzealous about it.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Factual.
Of course I know only too well.
Dude, Alize is especially, because of what happened with that lady and all the people she's watched die while she was out in Amarang. Or was it Nabakarang? I don't know. But like watching all those people die and turn into Sin Eaters, and then like she and I go way back now, man. Like we've known each other, we've done all sorts of stuff together, like adventures and stuff. I feel like out of everyone here, I'm close to everybody, but like I almost feel like I'm more close to Alize than anybody else because she's like really tried to like care about me and stuff. So she's lashing out because she's mad about it.
But making promises
That's
you
a good
have no way
touch.
of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
This is great. I don't know, maybe everyone doesn't feel this way. I feel like this scene is great. Like, it's just like, she's pouring her heart out. I have never felt more loved by by an NPC in my entire life. This is awesome. This is so good right now. Like I said, I feel like they all care about me, but she like super cares about me and really feels like she's let me down. Like if Urianger a minute ago was feeling bad for lying to me, this is like 5 times higher than that, at least to me anyway. Oh, we even get tears, man. They're all just like expected, like, all right, he's gonna die.
We will go with you as well.
All right, sure. Who am I to say no?
There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Legit.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Aww.
Are we all in agreement then?
Oh, I love he says that and she like looks back like, I don't know, I guess.
Is there aught we can do to help?
Oh, it's the Crystariums. Hello, Crystarium peeps.
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put 2 and 2 together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Thank you, Crystarium Gatekeep guy. Crystarium Gatekeep is now my favorite character in this entire game. Just because. More respect for Crystarium Gatekeep.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless.
This song is a bop, dude.
So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it.
What would you have us fuss? Sorry, I accidentally bumped the button.
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
Dude, this is like one of those scenes where there's so much happening right now. There's so much happening. But, like, you're becoming a legend, man. That's so cool. Like, I love it. It's like, just on the first alone. Like, never mind the source where I've, like, saved Ishgard and saved the Far East and see Adoma and all that stuff. It's like, no, never mind all that. This entire world is, like, thankful to me of becoming, like, this legend. It's so cool. In some ways, I think this game does it better than something like Fable, where, like, that's the whole thing. It's, like, becoming a legend. It's great. I'm just so hyped right now. Defend the Crystarium until we return. Leave it to us. We'll see Exarch home is safe and sound. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Nah, man, that's too pessimistic. Nah, we're not doing that. Not in this moment. Defend the, we're doing this one. Just defend the Crystarium until we return. Everyone's hyped. Alright, good. The hype is real. Look at that man clap over his head. His giant hands and orange shirt. Alright. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down unto Emet Selch's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method of reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea clotheth above our heads, we will be unlikely to serve us again until the grand deed is done. That's fine. Let's do it. Into the depths we go. Thine affairs are in order? Then I shall unfold my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus I would petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being of whom I have yet to meet face to face.
Rather than waste words on an explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Okay. And then everyone just left. Alright, where is Sullen? Lakeland? I don't know. What's this over here? Fort Job? I mean, let's just go to Fort Job then, I guess. No. No. Yeah, we'll go to Fort Job. Sure. No, that scene was great. Like, just like the emotion, the acting, like feeling like you're becoming a legend. Like, there's just so much, you know. I don't know, that was just really cool. I like that a lot. I do like that the little America launches here are all like little like perches up on the top, you know? Okay, let's turn on my arc thing. Yeah. Oh wait, I think is this where the turtle comes up? Yeah, this is where the turtle comes up. Sorry, spoilers. That island is a turtle. The giant super turtle. I forgot all about the giant turtle. You know, that little thing there would make you think that there's an Amero launch here, but I don't see one! Like, real talk, what is the purpose of this thing? You would think it's for an Amero, but it's not. Why is it here? I just wonder, like, when devs do that, like, what's the point? I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know, you know? Oh no, I'm gonna go around the dock, we go over it. Alright. Oh, some over there. Might be a dungeon, I'm not sure. I didn't try to mend our stuff. How we doing? Ah, not bad. Alright. There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I cannot but flail and flounder where thou mayst glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Urianger cannot swim. I forgot about that detail. I remember, I just thinking back to like when Alphino tried to swim, and he's like, I have been practicing, and just like throws himself into the water of the Ruby Sea. Purple grass is crazy, dude. Vane, Vodin, and Yalric. No one cares about any of you guys. Alright. Well, you know how it goes. Let's go swimming. Get some front crawl going. It is a cool island, though. Love there being a question about that. It stands out like a sore thumb compared to anything else, but I wonder if there's a lookout point here somewhere, like up on that horn or something. It seems like the kind of place you would see a lookout point, but I don't remember if this is here later. Alright, so we are at the island. We'll dive. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Hey, I wonder, is that a giant eye? It certainly looks like. Let's look at this suspect rock formation. Sure. Let's see. Two curved slabs of rocks seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. I wonder why that is. What could it be? That kid from that viral video. I like turtles.
Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slowly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? Alright. You know, that little animation for when you go under the water and it's like, you know, he's submerging or coming out. It's a simple thing, but I like it. I'm glad the game does it. I don't know. I don't know what else I should say other than that. Oh, there's Alphanod. What's up, my boy?
Ah, there you are. Once you complete your underwater investigations, the path here leads to the top of the island.
Okay. You stole it! Hang on, I want to see. Is there like a... My brain tells me there should be a thing up here. There probably isn't, but I want to see. I need to know for myself. Go up here. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. There isn't. There, yeah, hang on. Oh, come on, come on, come on. So, oh, I wanted to get up there and be cool. I took fall damage into the water? Wow. I didn't see that coming. That's okay. I guess I deserve that.
If you've solved Urianger's little mystery, then you can find him further up the slope. It was all rather obvious to my eyes, though I concede I have an unfair advantage.
That's fair. You can see everything unusually. It's Reen and... Wait, our thing.
Even seeing up close, I'm still not sure what's so special about this island.
The locals call this the Isle of Ken, which I presume is to refer to knowledge. Either that or someone was being awfully zealous about marking this territory. Oh, Sal's over there. I haven't talked to her yet. Normally I wouldn't do that, but they're all here, you know what I mean?
This lake is enormous. Assuming my geography is correct, this would be the mirror of Silvertear back in the source, although the size hardly compares.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Well, I'll do it in a second. Well, what hast thou discerned? I discern this door now. It reminds me of a certain primal. It's like the... It's just like the big one. Yes, yes. You know what? I'm gonna say that. Ha, thine impression is not inaccurate. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are even now perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Of course it is. It's Bismarck from the Sea of Clouds. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the source. I would enlist its aid to bear us in the deep, then banish the water with airy sphere, alike to form to domes which do shelter the hamlets near the Ruby Sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered and defend ourselves of the hour of battle cometh, and most certainly shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication. Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't even make the connection that, like, the first is kind of laid out in the same way that, that the source, like, the regular places, the source. I didn't even make that connection for the longest time.
Urianger, Bilan Bismail.
The whale is now a turtle.
Fallen si lor wislan. Ada si Lyna.
Van urs atslir. Olfod thim. Iri guath thi.
I just want to take a nap.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
I know what to do. We need Feo Ul. Yeah. She always tells me to call on her anyway. And I never do. Finally, you know what I'm going to call for? She's going to be jazzed I asked for.
call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight.
Oh, she's so jazzed.
Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can.
Well, there you go. I have a thing.
Gers Bismael win picked. Van dromi drom Jacob. Van red rithje.
Aw, come on.
Una, Sahawin Wisk.
Agreeable, though. Thank you, agreeable turtle man.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
I still love that noise. That, you know, the same one that Bismarck makes. Well, he is Big Miller. I do wonder if that's like a real language or just gobbledygook. Knowing me, being an uncultured swine as I am, well, you know, depending on the culture you're talking about. It probably is, but, you know. Also, I have to wonder if it sounds different in, Oh, he's a whale. Okay, he's not a turtle. I thought he was a whale. Or a turtle, not a whale. He's got the thing on his back, but what do I know? Pretend I didn't say he was a turtle. I just always thought he was a turtle. Where did I think he was a turtle from? Oh, hey. It's the dock worker, guys.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? You see that?
It's like, I could never see anything that more amazing. How about a giant flying whale with like a turtle shell island on his back? Wait, isn't that gonna be like a giant wave like in the movie from the '99 movie Godzilla? It is. It is. You should leave.
Whoa there! It's not stopping.
It isn't stopping.
Run! Run!
Oh, that's brutal. They didn't have to put that in. That's great. Sorry, dock worker guys. Sorry. I return now to the lake. I gotta do what I was doing with the dragons in Heavensward. I have not flown in an age. It was pleasant. May your journey be a safe one, little neighbors. Okay, this is vaguely familiar. Where the water's like in a bubble or whatever. The water's kind of falling in. Just leave us all passed out in the mud on the bottom of the ground. That's brilliant. Imagine how mucky that would be. Just being honest, did you imagine? You ever touch the bottom of like a water area? It's just muck and sand.
Wow.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves?
Oh, this is where you meet the first Sahagin, that's right.
The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom.
I haven't been here in so
The
long, I
last
forgot this was a
refuge
thing.
of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
I will. Nordrant, the Tempest. Well, with that in mind, that is a perfect jumping off point. Can you imagine a better jumping off point than that? So with that, I bid you all good morrow, and I will see you on the next episode. But all we have now is until next time.